My name is Pam. I am the owner and founder of My Shade and Texture Beauty Supply Bar.
Do you see me out there vibing freely? I don't care, I'm a vibe anyway.
Creating the brand that it is now, My Shade and Texture, was based on a need. When it comes to consumers in the beauty industry, African American women dominate that industry. However, when it comes to ownership, that number does not match the number of consumers. So there was a need here in Tampa to have a one-stop shop for naturalistas. We know that there are big box brands, mom and pop beauty supply stores, but I wanted to create and carve out a space that specifically addressed textured hair.
That is going to hook onto the hair?
I myself have faced discrimination when it comes to my hair.
Well, I perceive hair discrimination to be any individual being treated unfairly based on the appearance of their hair, that typically being an appearance of hairstyle or hair texture that does not necessarily fit in with mainstream society.
Hair discrimination is discriminating against someone for not necessarily how their hair looks, but the way it comes out of their hair naturally. It's also including the background behind this person. So someone could be black and you can discriminate against their hair because you're saying that it is too much because it is just different. It is not the European standard of beauty.
To me, I think hair discrimination means someone being rudely towards my hair for absolutely no reason and just don't understand like my culture or my background.
I feel like it's just like an automatic judgment on you, like just by looking at your hair. Like as soon as someone sees your hair, all your other qualities go away. Like whether it's like the good character, like they already make up their mind about you, and that's how I feel every day. I think it's really sad. Like I don't really know any other races that go through this.
Working at the federal courthouse, it was actually on Halloween day. I remember it. Prior to that, I would just wear my hair straight or blow it out every now and then. But that particular day, I actually decided to just wear my natural curls. And I remember that day like it was yesterday. It was raining, my hair got wet, so it curled up. I didn't have on a costume, but I got off the elevator, and the first coworker I ran into, she asked me and she laughed about it. Hey, is your hair a part of your costume? And I looked down, I said, well, what costume? I'm wearing an orange sweater and black slacks. And so when I said that, she hopped on the elevator, sent me an email an hour later apologizing for it. So it was just the ignorance because I wasn't wearing a wig and I wasn't wearing a costume, but I was asked if my hair was a part of my costume.
I can say that I have experienced subtle microaggressive behaviors towards me as a woman of color with naturally textured hair.
I had people who wanted to touch my hair, and I had a very bad experience when I was younger with someone touching my hair. And from ever since then, I don't allow people to just anyone touch my hair because of that bad experience.
Just last year on the internet, I had a picture of my hair, like my natural hair. I was in a ponytail, and I mean, it was just like in its natural state, and this one girl got mad at me and she called my hair nappy. Now, nappy means that your hair is tangled and stuff, but my hair wasn't. It was just like in its natural state. So I feel like that was very disrespectful.
Hair discrimination can stop someone from getting a job. It can stop someone from pursuing their dreams, all because of their hair.
The Crown Act, which has been passed in a few states, and we're trying to get it passed throughout the state of Florida, is a legislation that will protect individuals against being discriminated against due to the appearance of their hair, or Afrocentric, or just naturally styled hairstyles that they wear.
The Crown Act, that's on the federal level. There are still some states that need to catch up. So until that law is enacted on a federal level, all we can do is just rely on our local government, and that's our state.
I think it's meaningful to have this act passed in Florida because, you know, I know in the state that it got passed, you know, it might have been a big thing there, but it's a big thing here. And, you know, this happens everywhere where people, you know, even though you don't know it, just little comments like, oh, you're wearing a weave, oh, you're wearing this. Those things are happening in the school system, in the workplace, in people's personal lives. And so that type of curiosity can also be modeled and raised into judgment and discrimination by parents, by people who also don't understand themselves. And so I think it's important to have protection against this type of discrimination. So I think that we deserve representation on screen. As you know, I study, and I think that we deserve representation in the court system.
From my history, like we, especially Black women, been discriminated about our hair, and now we could see people trying to copy our hairstyle and take credit for it. Florida should have it and try to push it so we could be feel protected.
As a professor of educational leadership, I do actually consult. I do a lot of diversity, equity, and inclusion consulting in the little bit of spare time that I have. But even within my courses, I bring in conversations with my students on how to promote more inclusive environments within their school settings, because I work with individuals, or my students are individuals that are seeking to be leaders within an educational sector.
I think one of the things that can be done is making sure to include, you know, some type of diversity training, include, you know, the different types of ways people can be discriminated against. That can go from music to skin color to the type of hair someone has. So I think that we really just need to start having these conversations in corporate, in educational systems, and anywhere that we can. That is the type of education I think people can get. They don't necessarily have to have a degree. They just need to be educated and taught about these different ways, because some people don't know.
I believe that education is power, and when we can educate others, we can help to break the stigmas. I think that stigmas and stereotypes sometimes exist just by way of lack of understanding, or a lack of awareness, or choosing to be closed-minded. And I see it that once there's awareness and education, it can help to eradicate some of the closed-mindedness. And I think what it will take is businesses, corporations, workplaces that have come out making a stance about inclusivity, that they consider all aspects of what that means, and just be willing to learn more about why the Crown Act does it, why we're fighting for the Crown Act. I also think that there's strength in numbers. So groups such as the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, there's also the National Coalition of 100 Black Men. There's a chapter, they have a chapter in Tampa, and they're a national organization as well. But there are a lot of advocacy groups that kind of coming together and collaborating, and having the ear of legislators on why this act is important, I think is just another step in the right direction.
Starts with us, and that's just embracing and just being free to just wear your natural curls. Working at the courts for so long, and this is a place where you go for justice, yet there was a lot of us, a lot of African American co-workers and myself, that were discriminated because of the hairstyles that we rocked. I won't say I was the first to start that way, but it was me and a couple of other ladies that they learn to embrace their natural hair, so they stop relaxing. Because why am I going to be in a space to make you feel comfortable and I'm actually manipulating my hair? So we actually, did the total opposite. No, I'm going to embrace my hair, and if you don't like it, deal with it.
This organization is important to be on any and every campus because, we go to a PWI at the end of the day, and there isn't a lot of people who look like us. So having an organization where people can go to for support, help, educate themselves even more with the people who have something in common as them is just very important to have that support system.
I think it's important because it's not spoken much, I would say. Not a lot of, I know me growing up, I didn't really have someone to tell me what I should do with my hair, and I would see these girls have different hair ties, and I would hate my hair. And so I think having it on campus is good because it could help girls to embrace their hair and not be ashamed of with it.
I first met or became familiar with Campus Crowns and other organizations through a former student of the University of Tampa. That was back in 2020. I opened my doors in November 2019, and I was actually a special guest for a natural hair event that was hosted by the Black Student Union, the African Student Union, and Campus Crowns. Just being in different organizations myself, an undergraduate and graduate school, being a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, community service is always near and dear to my heart. So to be able to give back to those that come behind me or those that are in need, that has always been the mission of my Shade and Texture, is to be more than a beauty supply store, to just be a pillar in a community.
For Black women, I feel we should still embrace our natural hair, because us putting chemical products in it to fit in with the social norm and straightening, perming, relaxing, just to fit in with the social norm is just not, normal. And it's okay to have natural curly hair and wear it in a fro to an office. It's okay to throw in some braids, some cornrows, and go to class. It's okay to wear your hair however you're comfortable wearing your hair.
I would just say just embrace your crown. It doesn't matter what anyone say, and don't let someone's words or action affect you. Love yourself, love your hair, and do whatever. You want to put a wig on, put a wig on. You want to go natural, go natural. You want to put perm, put perm. It doesn't matter. Don't let someone stop you from doing something for yourself.
There's a song by India Arie called I Am Not My Hair, I Am Not My Skin. And I think that is what we need to go by. We are not our hair. We are not, that's not the thing that should just define us. There are so many facets to us, and if people cannot accept us for our hair, they should be held accountable, because it's hair. You know what I'm saying? It grows out of our head. It's natural. You don't need to chemically alter it. And if you do want to chemically change it, that's fine. You should be able to do that, because no matter what you do, whether you have it in braids, whether you have it natural, whether you wear, a sew-in, extensions, people are going to say something, because that is what people do. But you have to live and do what's best for you and be true to yourself. So don't ever let anyone make you feel bad for the hair that you wear on your head, however that may be.
Do you wear your hair how you want it? Honestly, I feel we've come a long way. from seeing journalists with just straight hair and like silk presses on the news to like now seeing them with braids or with like, I mean, some of them still wear wigs, but it's like now you can wear braids or you can wear locks. Like just the last 3 weeks I was watching Channel 8 and Channel 10, and I noticed that like the diversity in hairstyles, and I thought it was amazing. Like your hair holds power, no matter if you cut it off, like and that's your new beginnings, or you just rocking your afro. It doesn't matter how big or how small it is. Like at the end of the day, our hair grows towards the sun and closer to God. So your goddesses. So rock your crown and keep that crown up.
Baby, you got confidence, it's true. You got away with your words. Forget the stage, you'll be heard. You elevate, know your worth, and you can't be played, you see. Baby, it's a vibe for me. It's your vibe for me. Do you see me out there vibing freely?